it's Jason Linse with personalityandfitness.com, the website that exists to help everybody in the world take a personality assessment and learn what that means to help them reach their fitness goals. Check out personalityfitness.com and take that assessment if you haven't. But you know, and the reason I mention it is you're probably watching this maybe on Facebook or YouTube. But when your video is over, go to personalityfitness.com and take the assessment. Click around for other video tips. There's blog posts. There's a lot of cool stuff, free resources for you to learn more about how cool the 4-quadrant theory of personality is and how it can be applied to not just fitness. I mean, that's the impetus for the website, but other things. And before I get into the Spectrum Scoop, which is what you're here for, Candy Crush Saga notifications. I mean, listen, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not like bothering you. Like some people, like I've seen on Facebook, like, well, stop sending me that. I see that little red notification, and I do a lot of social media on Facebook, so I'm like, hey, somebody probably liked or commented on something, and nope, it's so-and-so invited me to play Candy Crush Saga. I don't know. By the way, I've never played it. I don't think I ever want to play it. I'm guessing it's addicting because there seems to be a lot of my friends that like it. But that's all I got. So anyway, moving on to the Spectrum Scoop. Okay, what I wanted to do on this one was give you guys some tips on how to coach people, your employees. If you're watching this as an employee, or if you're watching this as an owner that has employees. Even if you're watching this as an employee, you know, I think you'll get a kick out of this because what you'll do is you'll forward it on to your owner, manager, supervisor, so they can watch this. But I'm going to go through the colors briefly and give you some quick cool tips. If you're leading, managing, supervising, coaching, whatever word you want to use, I prefer leading or coaching, a primary orange person. Number one, you can't micromanage. Now if you're a micromanager, you probably know that. If you don't know that, this is a time for you to think about that. Don't be looking over the shoulder of an orange. Now, see, orange people oftentimes aren't the most organized. So if they're in a position where they have to do a lot of organizational type stuff, they're probably not in the best position in your facility or your business anyway. So you might want to make that adjustment. But that being said, don't micromanage it. But what you can do is reward and challenge them. Now, that might seem like something for every color, but especially in orange. You want orange to get something done, give them a reward for doing it, but don't make it a reward that's a month out or, God forbid, a quarter or a year out. Give them short goals. Hey, if you do this in this amount of time, in a week, like 3 to 5 days, like what I always think of, and I know people are watching this from all different industries, but like I come from the fitness industry and membership sales. Hey, your goal for the month is 50 memberships, which breaks down to roughly like 12 a week. But if you hit 15 each week, which is over goal, you get a $25 gift card to wherever, or cash, or something like that. So that's really good. That goes for everybody, but especially in orange. But challenge them, and then reward them, and don't micromanage. So moving on to a yellow, here's the thing with yellows. They need plans. They like, what's the plan? What are we doing? What's the plan? What's the organization that goes into this plan? Give them the details. If you give them the details with clear expectations, they will get the shit done, trust me. So that's what you got to do with yellows. Now, moving on to blue people, you want to make sure that they feel appreciated for the work they do. Now, it has to be work that you truly do appreciate, number one, so don't just say it if you don't mean it. But they need to be told more than any other color, hey, we really appreciate what you bring to this organization. And the other thing related to that is make sure you emphasize their communication, because they really, really fancy themselves, and rightly so, as good communicators. People, okay? So we appreciate you and the communication that you bring to the organization. And then finally, finishing on greens. Here's the thing, greens need to be heard. I mean, so do all employees, but especially greens. They've got ideas. Hey, have you ever thought of this? They're the ones that say that, or, what do you think of this? Or, I think this, or I was thinking, I've got an idea. And listen to them. And just, you don't have to use everything or anything. But when you don't, or you use a portion of it, just explain why. You just make sure, because if you're not a primary green or even a secondary green, or maybe green's your last color in your position of leadership and ownership, then you might not be in that position, or you might not be the person who's always explaining. Like for me, green's my second color, so I'm really, really probably over the top, annoying, explaining on why we're doing. Somebody says, hey Jason, have you ever thought about blah, blah, blah? Well, I have thought about it, but here's why, blah, 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 we're not doing that, and blah, blah. Does that make sense? To make sure they understand, does that make sense? So for a green. That being said, that's some coaching tips. For more information, keep reading the blogs, keep watching the videos, contact me. I'm a fitness business consultant, but I'm also a personality coach, a team building coach. So I go to organizations and help them understand each other better by using this for many different ways. So Jason at jasonlinse.com, 612-310-1319. Until then, stay colorful.